Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. The movie for today is The Last Witch Hunter. It's a 2015 movie. Let's dive right into it. So the movie begins with a group of men who are dressed like Vikings, and apparently they are going witch hunting. This would be done in a tree that looks a lot like a cave, and they wanted to do that because the witches have been killing their people, so they want to avenge them, and specifically they want to stop the witch queen, who is behind all or the perpetrator of all these killings. But they can only kill her if they truly target her heart has to be destroyed, or else she is never going to die. So they go into the tree, they are fighting for their lives there, and they will meet several obstacles. Now, the leader in particular is able to remove himself and go after the witch alone. And even after the going after the witch alone, he encounters a lot of things from the witch. So even with notwithstanding all the obstacles he faced from the witch queen, he's able to actually defeat her by delivering a blow to her that hooks her onto the tree. But unfortunately for him, when he's about to deliver the final blow to her heart, the witch queen is able to get into contact with him. She drives her hand into his heart, and she says she can see that at this point he actually doesn't want to live, because his wife and daughter was killed from the same plague that the witch queen had passed onto the land, and that her revenge would be that she would curse him. He would live an immortal. He will never die, no matter what he does. And then he's able to defeat the witch queen. So after the witch queen curses him, the scene changes, and we see that this is present day. This present day has shown us that the man, or the leader that defeated the witch queen, was called Cauldron. Now, Cauldron, 800 years later, remember, he was cursed to live an immortal life. He has been able to create peace between the witches and the humans, and that he's tasked with making sure that witches don't misuse their power, especially against humans who don't have any power to protect them. So the council that was formed to bridge that peace is called the X and Cross. Then we are introduced to a Donan, who is the 36th, and they are responsible for taking care of Cauldron through his day-to-day affairs and making life easy. This is 36. Now 36 is old and is retiring, so we have to get, or they have to get, a 37 who will be. So we see that there's a close relationship that exists between 36 and Corden. So the next morning, unfortunately, Corden gets a phone call that says that 36 is dead. So they have to swear in 37, who would also help Corden. They went, he called in, and 37 decided to go to 36 house, and from there Corden is able to discover that witches are involved in the death of 36. So he goes on a questioning spree of different witches in order to find who actually killed 36. So while Corden goes on the questioning spree, he finally gets a particular man or a particular witch who he says is responsible for 36's death. He sends the man to the witch council, where the witch council was able to um, punish him for his crime. So before Corden left 36's house, he found a cryptic message left by 36 that says Corden should remember his death. And after the witch council had pronounced a punishment for this man in particular, 36, Corden goes to check on the body of 36. And then he realizes that 36 is actually not dead, but is cursed, and that the curse can only be broken if the witch who had cast the spell is killed. And then he realizes that this man in particular is not working alone. There's somebody far greater that is orchestrating all this. Now, Corden goes to find somebody that would help him remember. And then we see Chloe, a young witch that is good at um, mixing potions and helping people remember things they have actually. Chloe agrees to help Corden. She gives him the potion, and while he's in the dream trying to remember what happened in his death, he's yanked back into reality where we see that he's chained up by a different witch, and this witch doesn't want him to remember. In order to make sure that that happens, he ends up burning down Chloe's bar, and then Colden is eventually able to free himself, but that witch is able to escape, and then he gets both he and Chloe out of the bar. Colden takes Chloe to his home in order for them to continue the process, and then she tells him she can only help him if she gets ingredients to make the potion again, and she can only get it through her friend. They go to see her friend, and then unfortunately for them, the witch from earlier had already gotten to the friend and has unalived her. So they find her dead body. Chloe gets angry and says Corden should promise her that he will take revenge for her friend because she died unfairly. So eventually, Corden has found out that not only is Chloe good at mixing memory potions, she's also actually a dream walker, meaning that they don't necessarily need the potion anymore. She could just help him travel through his dreams and then remember his death. So Corden takes him through, he goes, and then that is when we see the continuation of what happened between he and the Witch Queen. So apparently, 800 years ago, when he had nailed the Witch Queen to the tree, and then the Witch Queen had cursed him, they both died. And then his men came and found them, and remember, we said the witch queen can only be killed if her heart is actually destroyed. So his men find the heart. They are about destroying the heart when they realize that the heart is some way merged with Cordin. Because the moment they started to destroy the heart, Cordin woke up and started screaming, and he was in a lot of pain. So, in order to keep Cordin alive, they kept the heart. So, meaning that there is a high possibility the witch queen can still come back kicking, and that the heart was in the hands of the council of witches. And he was so angry. Corden was so angry because he felt like they had betrayed him by not telling him long ago what happened, and that they didn't have the right to keep that piece of information from him. So that was when things were making sense to Corden, and that they had tortured 36 and cursed him because they wanted to find where the heart was. And unfortunately for them, that particular witch had found the hat and gotten another witch and started the process to revive the witch queen back. So the witch from earlier had finally gotten his wish of waking up the witch queen, and Cordin goes there to stop them. Unfortunately for him, the witch queen is able to get her hands on him, and then she reveals that not only was the immortality a punishment for him, but also the immortality was actually for her. So when she comes back, she takes back the immortality and she's able to live forever. He's able to defeat, or he's able to unalive that particular other witch, but the witch queen is able to escape. And then, the witch queen has taken back her life force, meaning that at this point, Corden is now mortal and is in danger. But now that he has unalived that previous witch who had cast the spell on 36, 36 was actually saved. He was revived. And then Corden goes to 36. 36 says he shouldn't give up. He should still go ahead to try and stop the witch queen. And then he does exactly. Now Corden, Chloe, and 37 have decided to go together to defeat the witch queen, and their first stop would be the witch prison because they know that she would actually go there. That is where they had all put the witches together. They go to the council or the prison, and they find out that almost all the council members have been unalived by the witch queen, and that the prisoners or the witches in the prison have been mind linked together, and that the witch queen was using them to bring about another plague again that would wipe out the whole of humanity. So Chloe is tasked with breaking that chain whilst Cordin goes after the witch queen alone. She's actually able to do it. She breaks the chain, and then we see that 37 has rather turned on them because he has Chloe at at a ninth point. He wants to kill Chloe. Now, Corden has gone after the Witch Queen. He fights the Witch Queen, and again, he's about defeating the Witch Queen when we see an interruption of 37 with Chloe. So, 37 comes threatening Corden with Chloe, and that he will unalive Chloe if Corden does not leave the Witch Queen alone. So that is when he opens up and said, all this while he 37 was not on their side. He was on the side of the witches because according to him, his mom and dad were witches. He was born without the witch power. And Corden had misinterpreted the situation when he was a child, thinking that it was a couple that had kidnapped a human baby and then analyze his parents and protect he 37. So 37 has been bitter about it, and this was his chance to get back on Corden. So he shoots Corden, and the witch queen is free. She's able to lay her hands on the Chloe, and remember, Chloe too is equally powerful. So she uses Chloe's dream walking abilities, and she continues the mind link that will bring about the plague. Unfortunately for 37, the witch queen decides that he's useless to her and analyze him also. Gordon is able to wake up and analyze the witch queen, meaning that he got back his immortality. That means the heart is still alive. He goes to destroy the heart, but Chloe is able to convince him not to destroy the heart because if he does that, he too is gone. So he leaves the heart, but this time the heart would be in his care. He would protect the heart. And then we see that there's some happy ending between he, Chloe, and father. And then the movie comes to an end. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more and more videos. Bye bye.